Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is a past episode taken from my podcast. I'm slowly moving my entire episode library to YouTube. Now, just as a heads up, there's no editing on these. You may hear me out of breath, traffic going by, and occasionally me tripping. It's literally just me talking in my phone while I'm walking around my neighborhood at night like a crazy person. Wonder what the neighbors think of that. Anyway, the episode info can be found in the description. With all that said, enjoy the show. Thank you so much for listening. Please like and subscribe. What's going on, everybody? This is Tanner from TammanBaseballFan.com. This is episode 2 of my podcast, and I am really having a hard time finding time to do things that I want to these days because of the baby. It's been great, but we're all still very tired. He's about to hit 5 months old pretty soon. But I wanted to hop on the podcast here and talk about something that I was actually doing with my son, Atticus, yesterday. And that is garage sailing. And oh my gosh, y'all, garage sailing is like a Jones family national pastime. We love it. Well, okay, so Holly and I love it. Atticus, not so much. He's kind of thinks of it more as boring. But I wanted to take him out as a prospective buyer of goods and finder of deals yesterday, because I'm trying to teach him another skill on how to generate some income. And I think garage selling is just a great way to cut your teeth on doing something like that. He doesn't have a job, and he doesn't do a whole lot for money. He actually probably, he disproportionately spends a lot of his free time actually volunteering at church, which is fantastic. But you know, this is an easy way for him to generate some income, and you too, you know, for you listening, if you don't go garage selling. So I'll kind of tell you a few things, maybe a few tricks to the trade perhaps, and maybe some fun stories in the past, and more or less my philosophy on the situation here. So for garage selling, first and foremost, the one thing that really appeals to me so much about garage selling is that really it's a never-ending treasure hunt. You can spend $1 and you can get something for $10. Or you can get $10 for that item that you spend the dollar on. Or you could also sometimes find something for $1 that's $100. Or you could find, you know, once in a very, very blue moon, a couple bucks, and you'll be able to turn whatever it is for $1,000. Just really depends on the day and where you're at and everything. So that's what makes it so exciting to me. You just never know what's out there until you try. Now, there's a lot of reasons not to. I'll kind of run around, run through many of the reasons that I didn't want to in the past, and why I don't actually go every single week. So number one, generally speaking, it's Saturday. I do not want to wake up early Saturday to drive to people's houses like crazy for a few hours. Number two, it's not really having a good understanding of everything that's of value. And by the way, y'all, it sucks if you go out for a couple hours and you don't find nothing. Like, that happens. That is a reality of garage selling, but that's okay. Number three, it's really a pain in the butt to take pictures and sell things. And number four, it's the space. And I gotta tell you, I was talking to Holly about the haul that I got yesterday. She's like, what is wrong? I was like, I'm just kind of bummed out. I feel like discouraged because we just got all this crap in our garage now. But you know, that's okay though, because sales cures all. And once things start selling, I will feel a lot better. And as a matter of fact, I've got somebody coming over for some Legos I picked up for $10-15 yesterday. They'll be picking them up for $40. And yesterday, I also picked up a lot of about 225 DVDs and Blu-rays. And I know what you're thinking probably. It's probably the same thing I was thinking. Who wants DVDs? Well, guess what? If they're cheap enough, there are buyers out there. So I got him for $60, and I'll be able to flip him pretty easily for $100. Which, it's not a huge money maker, but it's an accumulation game when it comes to those sorts of things. And like I said, the fun thing about this, really, the thing that I really enjoy about this is that there's no boss to tell you, hey, do this, that, or the other. It's literally you taking control of your destiny and putting some cash in your pocket. So when all's said and done, because of yesterday and what we got, probably pocket about $300 profit. And I really wanted to show Atticus that how impactful that can be for somebody, and you too. If you're in a job that you're not really a big fan of or whatever, and want to supplement your income and to be able to put yourself in a better position to do something else later, or maybe just not put all of your eggs in your job's basket and that's it. Garage selling is a good way of going about doing it. And so for somebody that makes minimum wage, you think about this, and it's pretty amazing to me that you have something like I'm sorry, I'm kind of distracted because of the phone here, because of the traffic. But anyways, for somebody that's making minimum wage, for example, $300 on a Saturday morning, you think about that. That's like that could be like full time for a week for somebody. I mean, that's pretty significant when you think about it here. So anyways, that's something else to think about. Now, the one thing that, of course, this podcast is about is baseball cards. So the thing that I love most is whenever I go to find some baseball cards or anything really to resell. The thing that's interesting to me is whenever you have something, have a garage sale out there. They have all kinds of things. They've got the pots, the pans, the cups, the cat litter boxes, all this stuff. So you look at it from the outside looking in, there's nothing. The thing that I like doing is I like always going up to them and asking, do you have any baseball cards or comic books for sale? And interestingly enough, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say no. And actually, they're going to say, no, I'm sorry. And it's really funny. I think I heard that exact phrase like 15 times yesterday. But 1 time out of 10, they're going to say yes. Now, on the other side of that, 9 times out of 10 for those yeses, it's going to be like a 1991 Fleer. But again, every now and then, because you're going to have to kiss a lot of frogs to get to a prince, right? You'll find something that's interesting. And that interesting thing happened the last time that happened for me was probably, I want to say, about 4 or 5 months ago, if I remember correctly. And it worked out pretty nicely. Guy was really nice. And, I asked him, hey, do you have any baseball cards or comic books? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, actually I do. Like, it was almost like his face lit up. He's like, I think I do have some. And it was funny to see how he reacted to my question. And so he ended up, thank you. We're getting in some traffic issues here. But anyways, it's funny how he reacted, just kind of lit up, and he's like, I do. So he scurries inside the house and pulls out like this box, and there are a few older comics, which the comics were nothing, and a bunch of like really beat up cards from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So for the 80s and 90s, even if they're in like mint condition, they're not really going to be worth a whole lot, right? So I was almost ready to pass, but then as I kept digging, I saw a few other things that were interesting. There's some beat up 70s cards, and those do sell sometimes depending on what it is, depending on what's in there. But also there are these 1977 Sportcaster cards, and I'm not sure if you've seen them before. They look very, I don't know how to say it. They're larger than regular cards, and they're like tabs at the top. It's almost like they're for educational purposes. But anyway, I didn't really know much about them. All I knew is it was just a, fairly okay sized box of stuff, and he said that he would take $20 for everything. I said, I don't know if I'm a buyer because of the condition of these, but at $20. But how about $10? And he goes, no problem, you take them. And so I go, okay, cool, thanks. So I pick them up, bring them home. Turns out that there's a Walter Payton rookie card in there. Is beat to death. Ended up getting $25 for that card. There was like a big stack of the Sportcaster cards. Well, it turns out I was able to get $80 out of those, and 30 or $40 out of the rest of them. So, we're talking like $150 out of like a $10 initial investment. And there's just stuff like that out there, and it always drives me nuts, y'all. Like, I'm thinking about this because it's not just garage sales. I mean, it's eBay, it's Craigslist, it's Facebook Marketplace. All these places have these like phenomenal deals out there. We just don't know where to look or what to look for. So that's always been an intriguing idea to me. That, like I said, this life can literally be an endless lifetime treasure hunt for us if we know what we're looking for. So, and that was kind of just not really a happy accident necessarily, because had I not asked, it wouldn't have come to fruition. And it's not like I made thousands of dollars. I only profited $140, but it was like super easy. It was fun going through the cards. I enjoy taking pictures of cards, by the way, a lot more than I enjoy taking pictures of I don't know, Tupperware or something that I buy, so because that's boring to me. I don't like that stuff. But anyway, so in another garage sale that I had fun at, which happened years ago, and it's just one that kind of sticks out to me right now as I'm talking. This mom was selling her kids baseball cards. They just didn't care about the cards anymore, so it was like a big pile of them or something, and like some display stand for $1. I was like, well, come on, $1, okay, I'll do that. And so I picked them up. Come to find out, one of the cards in there was a 1993 SP Derek Jeter. So that was pretty awesome. There's stuff like that out there all over the place. So in order to become a little more successful about garage selling is number one, of course, you got to put the work in and be in there early, because there's some early birds out there that are trying to get all the good stuff. But don't let that discourage you. Just get out there early if you can, and put in an hour or two Saturday morning, see what's out there. Number two is really doing the work to find out and to teach yourself what's valuable. Now, we've got a lot of fantastic tools out there, obviously, to help us with that. We could check eBay to see if there's anything else out there that's for sale, which will help determine rarity, and even in a little bit of in a few instances, we'll be able to tell you exactly like how rare something is. That works especially for baseball cards, but maybe other items as well. And another thing you could do is go to a website that's www.cardsnoop.com, and if you are interested in what an actual item is actually literally sold for, because eBay doesn't do that anymore, you go to that site, you create an account, it's free, you plug in your information of the item that you want to see how much it's sold for, and that tells you the actual prices that they've sold. So the more you do that throughout the year, or throughout the day even, I mean from day to day, just if you're interested in how much DVDs sell for, or CDs, and what kinds of CDs, what kinds of books. I mean, another book I picked up yesterday, there are a couple college books, and I picked all of them up for $1, and it looks like one of them sold for $50 recently as well. So there's little deals like that, and I would not have known that college books sold had I not known about that from my dealings with them in the past. So there's just all kinds of things out there. And the fun thing is, when it comes to garage sales, is that these people, the mindset that they have for the most part is, I've got a bunch of crap, I want to get it out of here. And so that's really kind of what it is. So a lot of people really don't care too terribly how much they're getting for the stuff. They just want it out of their house. And oftentimes, which is funny, I'll give you another little bit of a funny story. I like to do, I have done this in a while, it's called garbage sailing. Garbage sailing, meaning after the garage sales, when they're done, people might put their stuff to the curb, and every now and then you'll find something interesting. And so years ago, I remember finding a painting that was out in the trash, and it had a sign free or whatever. So I pick it up and I sell it later on for 30 or 40 bucks. And so I mean, you literally can make something out of nothing. And that's not the first time that's happened either. I've done things like that for $50 items, for $100 items. There's stuff out there that you can definitely do that with. So it's fun, it's challenging, and I'll tell you something else that's kind of fun is even going to stores in the clearance aisle to see if you can make any money. And by the way, you can do that stuff on the fly. So you check out things on eBay when you're there at the garage sale, at Walmart, or anything you want. You could also try Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and of course you can you don't have to do it so discreetly there by checking your phone, obviously, because you don't have the people around you saying, hey, what are you doing over there checking out the prices of this stuff. So all kinds of ways out there, guys, to make a little extra cash for bills or, you know, baseball cards, of course, and even finding baseball cards. And so it's fun also just being able to strike up a conversation with these people. And you know, I was telling the Atticus about that also. You want to strike up a conversation with them. They're more willing to do a deal with you if you can strike up a conversation. Not that you want to be manipulative at all, but it's easier to talk to somebody about price warmly than it is just, hey, take 50 cents for these socks instead of $1, you know. So it helps out quite a bit. But also you find out maybe that they do have baseball cards inside that they want to sell, or they do have comic books inside that they want to sell. And you know, even sometimes you can pick up leads. And yesterday, for instance, I found a guy that said he didn't have any cards or comics, but his best friend had a wife that was going through some medical issues, and so he was selling his comic book collection. So I left my name and number with him. So there's all kinds of possibilities out there. There's I mean, just an unbelievable amount of opportunity for everybody to go out there and you know, buy some things and you know, flip them for a few bucks and have fun doing it, and not have to worry about somebody breathing down your neck that's a boss or anything to make money or do an interview or anything. It's like literally you can get in your car now and you know, if it's garage selling time or whatever, and see stuff out there for sale. So I would love to hear about some of your big scores as well. If you want to tweet to me on Twitter, it's my handle is TanmanBBFan, or you can email me tanmanbaseballfan@gmail.com, or you can find me on Facebook, Tanner Jones. And also, of course, my website is www.tanmanbaseballfan.com. I would love to hear from you. I'd love it if you liked this podcast, if you subscribed, and if you shared and all the other good stuff. I want to get this podcast going for sure, and I've enjoyed your feedback so far. So thank you, everybody. I hope you'll have a wonderful Sunday.